Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Reality Is Where Words Do Come to Light. Well, we are back for day 4 of the sabotage and the railroading and the setup of Frederick, who was the mayoral candidate that was booted off the ballot illegally. His constitutional rights were violated and he was denied due process. All pay for play, which we see is a common thing to do now. Pay for play. All right. So, day 4 of incidents. I want us to understand that this is not nothing new, as I've said in the other videos of the evidence. It's nothing new. This has been happening forever and a day. Our system is flawed, is crooked, and the people that are supposed to represent the people in transparency and honesty is not doing what they took an oath of office to do. I'll say this again. How can you comfortably sleep at night when you yourself sit and plot and plan to sabotage someone, to railroad them, to kick them off the ballot without valid information? People who perjure themselves in court is thrown in jail for lying under oath. It's a criminal offense to steal, and you stole God's chance to run fairly in an election. You manipulated the process and you deceived those who believed that the Chicago Board of Election was a trustworthy, viable institution, and we find out they are not. We have the problems that we have in our communities and the people that don't trust what we say because we have lied so much. And we run resumes pretending to be something that we're not. Um, we run resumes like we're the best family man and you're probably the worst cheating husband that ever walked. You run the resume like you care about the people in the community and you don't. You run your resume like you have done no wrong, you are innocent and everything that you do. But when you intentionally set out consciously to sabotage, railroad, and set up a person who lives in this country who has a God-given right to run for office when he feel like he wants to make a change, and you all deny that process, and you all take matters in your own hand like you are God, and you decide the fate of somebody that was not your decision to make, when you take out the voters' decision to choose who they would prefer to represent them as their voice in the office, shame on you. You should slap yourself. You should run into the nearest wall, jump off the highest mountain, down into the deepest ocean till you can't get back up and catch no more air. Y'all don't deserve to hold your seat. None of you. You don't. I'm just gonna be honest. See, a lot of us gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not sugarcoating nothing because you have showed your ugly hand. You shown your ugly head. You show what kind of character you are. You show that you have no integrity, no morals, and no value. And you all call yourself, some of y'all call yourself Christian. Ain't nothing Christ like what you did to Frederick Collins. Ain't nothing like it. And again, I'll keep saying it again. God keeps great records of everything that you all do intentionally behind closed doors when nobody else is, when nobody else, you think nobody else know. But there are people who sits among you. When they get fed up, they tell all y'all stuff. The curtains is pulled, the shades are drawn, and the door is open, so is the window, and all y'all garbage come flowing out. Every last one of you. So you pretend to be this individual that you're not. And I know y'all dug down at Collins history. I know you did. Mayor Lightfoot tried to put a sabotaging article that was not true up there, and it died out quickly because it wasn't true. Pretty much You all was very fearful of what he could have done, kicked you off the ballot the right way, illegally. I mean, legally, not illegally. You all, what you did was illegal, but what he would have done to you all and got y'all off the ballot would have been legal. And you feared that. That was your threat. That was your worry. That was your concern. So you did what you knew best to do. You played your hand. I'm not good at poker, but you gambled, and your gambling paid off. It did. But now you're playing Russian roulette again because Brandon Johnson got booed. He's not all that in the bag of chips. Matter of fact, he ain't worth the crumbs in the corner of the bag. Bottom line. And Tony Pretwinkle sits quietly and silently, using her power and asserting her authority to do what she need to do, except for the things that she needs to do, she don't do. How about you fix? You and Brandon take all y'all little energy and fix what's going on in Cook County Jail. How about you do that? How about you fix those problems? How about you put the money in the community like Brandon Johnson said he put $1 billion in Austin? You don't see no money been placed in Austin. I don't. None whatsoever. With the lies. Let's keep great record of every lie that you all tell. I want y'all to know that. He keep great record when you dig in people's background. He keep great record of that. Especially when you feel like somebody's exposing you, which you need to be exposed for the dishonest individuals that you all are. You are all dishonest. The last one of y'all, very dishonest. I want to trust you as far as I can throw you. But the funny part to all of this, you wouldn't like if somebody did what y'all did to Frederick Collins done to you. You wouldn't. You wouldn't want nobody accusing your kids or your husband of something that they did not do. But yet and still, you allowed, you paid for the hearing officer, Rodney Stewart, to set the tone to get Frederick Collins kicked off the ballot. Rodney Stewart and Mr. Fine, the objector's attorney, had a sidebar, was there. Saw it with my own eyes. So I'm not telling you something I'm guessing, I'm wondering. I'm telling you something I seen and I know. Saw the sidebar. And then when the Collins name came up and it was heard, and he walked over there, y'all was like in shock. But what if you supposed to be the hearing officer, right? So it's supposed to be a neutral party. Why are you sidebarring with the objector's attorney? That was the first notification that something was not right. The second one is when Rodney Stewart sat at the table and he did not even explain process because the setup was already in play. It was already in play. Everybody had a part to play. And let me tell you, if y'all was getting Academy Awards, y'all asses all got an Academy Award for the best liars in town. We went all the way down to the Board of Elections, and they played their part too. And like I said in the other videos, decision was already made. Y'all pretended like you was gonna be fair. You pretended like you was gonna be honest. You pretended like you was gonna be transparent. You pretended like you was gonna honor your rules and regulations. And then when you denied Mr. Collins his due process of showing you information, you didn't want to see it. You denied the opportunity. Rodney Stewart denied it. In the Alaska and the Board of Elections denied it. In the Rule 20 hearing, it was denied. So again, you all never validated that Mr. Holland's falsifying information was true. So therefore, you all lied. You perjured yourself, which is a criminal offense. Very much so. In any court, perjury is a criminal offense, and you can be locked up for that. So for me, and for anybody who watched this, you should not trust the Board of Election because they are not truthful. They're not. Their system is outdated. Yeah, even Mr. Collins was not valid in the Board of Election system. And then you got to know that it's outdated because we was closed down for 2 years from COVID. So when did they have time to update it? So how did you allow somebody to come in and make an objector's petition against Mr. Collins for falsifying signatures? That was can't be the case. The proof here for day four of evidence was supposed to be signatures only. That's it. But when the record examination came up, it went from signatures to address. So everything should have been thrown out because that was not the case. Mr. Stewart, the hearing officer, said he can stop the record examination anytime he want to, but he didn't want to because he was paid not to stop it until he got to a certain quota, which is not a valid quota because nobody from the objector side showed up for the record examination, except for the one day. They never returned. So now the person who worked for the Board of Election took the seat of the objectors person and became the sustainer, which is illegal. You can't ride both sides of the fence. Either you're on one side or you're on the other. So y'all done broke all kinds of criminal laws, laws that will get you locked. You've done that. You violated civil rights. You violated human rights. You violated the Freedom Act rights. Violated. You violate Mr. Collins' freedom of choice to run a fair and honest campaign. You violate that option for him to present to the people his platform, his do's and his don'ts. So for me, a lot of y'all don't understand this is serious. This is very serious, very serious. But it seemed to be taken so lightly, so lightly. You know why? Because everybody sidebarred. Everybody had a behind the door conversation of how this should play out. And when it didn't go this way, they regrouped and they sidebarred again. And they got another strategy. And when it didn't go that way, they regrouped, they sidebarred, they got another strategy. Well, we can't get him here, let's get him here. We can't get him there, let's get him there. We can't get him here, let's get him there. And if we don't have no other choice, then I'm going to use my authority because Rodney Stewart represents Winkle in some of her court cases, and I'm the Cook County Board President, so I got some ties and some things, and I can pull some strings. And you all better do what I say, or such and such and such. I'm not going to do your favor. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And that is unfair. That is illegal. It is wrong, and it is a criminal offense. And you all should be fined, and y'all should spend 30 days behind somebody's bars for playing Russian roulette with somebody's campaign. It was not your choice to. It was not. When Frederick was running, she got challenged, was fair, right? So y'all find people, Rodney Stewart, it was the first year that he became a hearing officer. Imagine my surprise when I found out that. So imagine my surprise when I looked up on the internet and found out that he worked with Tony Pickwick on some of her cases. To my surprise. So who else is in cahoots? Imagine my surprise that Andre Holland is losing his house. So that money that they paid him was good money. He needed that money to save his property. Now the question is, did he really save his property or did he actually lose it? Was it enough, Andre? And if he was losing his property, how can you afford to pay for two attorneys? So that means someone had to pay for them attorneys because attorneys don't, they're not cheap. You have to pay retainer fees. Retainer fees start from 3,000 to 5,000. Since we in a recession and things that went up since COVID, sure was more than that. Andre Holland houses for foreclosure. He didn't have no $5,000. So who paid the money? And then every hour is like $300 to file paperwork and appeals and motion. So who paid for it? It's the question I have. Can somebody answer it for me, please? Who paid for it? Because a lot of money went out the door. A lot of money went to Rodney Stewart. A lot of money went to Andre Holland. A lot of money went to the attorney firm. And they never said anything. If you all get the transcript, you see Mr. Fine never responded, hollered to anything. Mr. Stewart, the hearing officer, did all the talking like he was the objective. Forgot all about his position of neutral, the neutral role he was supposed to play. But he was paid not to play the neutral role. He was paid to do just what he did. So for me, I don't trust none of y'all. trust none of y'all. Not as far as I can see you, and I can't see you that far. I don't trust none of y'all asses because y'all crooked as the sunrise and the sun sets. And you're the biggest liars that ever walked. And I keep saying God gonna slap y'all to sleep. And some of y'all probably feeling that reaping and sowing right now. You'll never tell it. But I know God got your record and he's paying y'all back because the Bible says, touch not my anointed. When God puts somebody in a position and y'all sabotage that person, don't think you're getting by and don't think you're getting away because you're not. It's coming up again, one way or another. May not hit you, but it may hit somebody else. See, that's what y'all don't understand. It's that domino effect, and y'all don't get it. So let's get to it. All right, we're going to get to it. We're going to open up the screen so you can see the slideshow. Let's go back. Day 4, evidence. Frederick Collins, mayoral candidate, the web of manipulation. And what a tangle web we weave. You hear what I say? Y'all played this process to the hilt, and you should be clearly ashamed of yourselves for what you did. It doesn't make any sense, none whatsoever. Highlights a transcript from court hearing. Signatures only request by hearing officer. Highlights a transcript from court hearing. Signatures only request by hearing officer. Ain't that amazing? This one has 2 slides. The last one had 4. And as we get farther down the line, oh, you're going to see some things going to knock you off your feet. So here we go. Hearing officer. Okay, I hear you. God's giving woo woo. Miss, I just don't see a need to deviate from the standard. What's the standard? It's a simple record. Mr. Fine, it's a records exam. Here out. Is that the issue, Mr. Fine? Yes. So clearly, when somebody is bucking back at something, they already know that you're not going to find the evidence that you're looking for because there is no evidence to find. The process was not even started, period. So how are you going to find evidence when there's no evidence to find? And usually when somebody is guilty, they are very, 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 very defensive when they're guilty and they know they have something to hide. Hearing officer, are there any other issues besides the number of verified signatures? Mr. Fine, no, no, it's signatures. So if it was signatures, how did the record exam end up being addresses? How? Please explain. Transcripts don't lie. Transcriptions is a neutral person, it's a company that comes in and takes the notes of what everybody is saying. And it takes a skilled individual to sit there and listen to different conversations and take notes, even though they record some of it, so they make sure they won't miss nothing. It still take a skilled person. But clearly here, it shows that it was supposed to be signatures only. Bump, bump. Problem. This is a huge problem. So you lied and you deviated from what you said in the hearing. That was signatures only. Study on the transcript. Mr. Fine, yes. Hearing officer, may I take a look? Thank you. Mr. Fine, yes. All right, Mr. Collins, there is only one issue in this petition, sir. The only issue is whether or not you have sufficient number of signatures to have your name placed as a candidate for mayor. That's the hearing officer. The only issue is the number of signatures. Yet and still, they did addresses and they concluded their findings on addresses, but not signatures. See, they didn't give a damn about the signatures. They didn't give a damn about nothing because there was no proof to have the records examined anyway. So how can you justify the transcript saying signatures only when you looked at addresses? That's what they did. So The Board of Elections should be dismantled, shut down, and everybody should be removed from their seat, even the attorney. Bottom line, y'all dropped the ball big time on this one, big time. And I'm here to make it bounce. Yeah. Now you see the evidence for yourself. That's what you see. Mhm. You see the evidence for yourself. Now, again, I'm going to say, draw your conclusions. Please do. Because transcripts don't lie. They don't. And now the Board of Elections have changed their rules as of this month in February 2023. And that's what they made mention in Rule 20 hearing, that uh, rules are subject to change, that the objectors don't have to be present. But you can't accuse nobody in the other court of law where the accuser don't show up. How does that work? That's why you have investigations to prove that what you're saying is valid. So you mean to tell me anybody can accuse anybody of anything and the Board of Election gonna be okay with it? Y'all have been sued twice. You should be tired of being sued. And every time you're hit, it is a ding to your reputation as a viable organization. And right now, the Board of Election ain't looking too good. Not at all. Not at all. Right. 5 and 6 is coming. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow. And let me know your thoughts about this evidence. Take care. Then we talk again.